All right, it's Monday, November 27th. This is an end of the day SPY recap. And today on the daily chart, we end up with kind of a two down red day. But essentially, what this is just a continuation of the inside price action from this potentially failed breakout attempt that didn't really fall, this big green bar here that didn't follow through higher, but hasn't quite failed to the downside. So we're kind of watching that area. If we take the 15-minute chart, which I'll get to in a second, and spread it out, you can see here after that one quick move to start up above that high, price settled back in, and essentially for 3 days we were just going sideways. So this is now the key range we're really looking for, and you can get either a strong breakout that follows through higher, or a strong breakout that follows through lower, or we can get a breakout attempt that fails again, then comes back through the range, and will likely then set the opposite direction in force. So we can start lower, for example, tomorrow, not really follow through much, come back through that range, and that will be the continuation of this overall big uptrend that's in place. And until we really get a two down week, we're biased that way still. And if we start down and continue lower, we want to see if we get through the midpoint of this week. If not, maybe some point midweek we can hold in there and then start back up. There's still a few days to go in the month, which the monthly chart looks like it's going to close green here, even if we don't get strongly green by the end of the month. So that should lead to some follow through into December higher, even if, again, we might have to have a weekly pause or two in here before we head higher. But I still think these bigger picture targets are in force, especially as this month's coming to an end. It looks like it's going to close strongly green. You'll expect some follow through higher into December. So any pullback here, either on the weekly chart or even the daily chart, is just going to be more temporary and will set up really good buying opportunities. But it's possible, we don't pull back much at all and we break out of this, this range that's unfolding here to the upside. So keep an eye on that, but we'll go either way. But again, it's this inside range now for 3 days that we're following, and everything's going to depend upon how we break out or fail from that. In terms of today, it was really a nothing day. I mean, first of all, you had the inside range, and then you had the pre-market range between the blue lines, and price was opening up inside of that range, inside of not only the big range, but also the pre-market range. And it went up immediately and then came right back down. The first bar, then the second bar paused and went up. And before you know it, within an hour, you're sitting here doing nothing, even within today's range, within the bigger picture range. So you just knew this was just a day that, if we broke through that first bar high, which we did, all we did was got to the pre-market highs and then immediately failed. And then we had a big push down, and then that just immediately met with choppiness, and we never got below the first. But, if we would have gotten below this low, all we would have expected was to take out this area, but that never even unfolded. So it was just a day. You can sense almost in the first, half hour, 45 minutes that just nothing was really happening today, given that first bar didn't really, go strongly below the pre-market range or the big picture range. So just a day to kind of watch and do nothing and kind of not be surprised by this choppiness up and down. So we'll see what unfolds here tomorrow. Again, some key levels is just if we come lower here, we want to see if any follow through can take us to the midpoint of that prior week. If not, expect some kind of reversal to the upside. I still think, given this green week, you kind of expect to test those highs. So we either get that right out of the gates in the morning, or maybe a failure to the downside. But given that it's a tightening range, maybe a breakout could be strong either way, and it would be surprising, either way. Given that you're expecting up and maybe it goes down. So I don't know. Anyway, today, nothing to do really inside of that first bar for most of the day. A couple of breakout attempts, just got to the pre-market highs, and we're just kind of holding. So everything is now relative to breaking out of this range with some big picture targets still above. So I think some of the best trades are still going to be to the upside when they unfold.